Good morning, student. Go back with Architecture 110, Chapter 10 in the textbook. We have few more chapters and we will go with quiz number 3. From 1 to 3. I think that you do very good on the quiz and plus more extra credit I give you. So I think that few of the students in my experience, you can qualify for skip final. But now I need one more thing. You need to confirm with me you are excellent in this course by quiz number 3. So after quiz number 3, I almost know which student can skip the final, which student can do the final in the short one, and which student will be to do the complete full final after quiz number 3. In this chapter, we will learn about architecture, get work, what we need to do when graduate from the school, and or after got license if they interesting with. And today, in this chapter, in the textbook, they also share with you few experience about the architect, how they works. Before we start with that, I just let you know that around 1970, marketings were rarely addressed by the architecture professional, like the part of the practice. Previous architects, they believed that marketing service was unprofessional and they just focus on design. They don't want to focus on the marketing, even the selling products or something else on the professional service. Architects always have the naturally competitive, realizing that if they set back, relax, wait for the new client to call, they don't need to search on the market. They just trust that with their professional service, the client will be contact and recommend for another client. They don't care about the market. They don't need to advertise on the market, something like that. So before 1970, every people trust that marketing is not effect on the architecture major. They have different field, architects and marketing. Before 1790, that means they don't work together, and the architect, they not trust that the marketing is one of the positive support to get the client for the companies. After that, they change the idea. They have the marketing inside from the company. The reason, because the marketing department, they can selling the architect's knowledge, serve it, and after that they can search for more client coming to the company. So that's why after that they accept the marketing is one of department in architecture. They have something to sell. They have need the market and order. So the first job, getting high to be topped, you believe that you have something to sell. That's the knowledge you learn from architecture. Your talent, your knowledge, and your skill at the school, quickly learn experience in the company. When you graduate from the university, you gain the job or not, it depends on luck, and timing are already factor in the marketing. So many students after graduate, they got the job very easy because they search on on the field and they get the job. Marketing plays very important in economics condition. If you see that economics outside condition is go high, and after that marketing place have the normal competition, and they can get the client easier. With the job in the firm, to have many firms, they have the projects dependent on many people working with, and they have beyond the control of the architects. So national and international economics condition also wealth. If you have economics health crazy effect to the work in architecture major. Money is time and economics is stagnant, and recession. Building will be slowed down when it is boom or bust for the country, generally boom bust for architects. So that means architect depending on economic situation. Definitely. Territories. Some architects they make the change or they like to select the local decision before any major decision regard with career of the firm. Architects must decide where to be, for example, state, county, city, or neighborhood, where to build. After that, select a marketing territory, maybe influenced by population, of course. If you have a lot of population and the chain to get the projects there is higher. Economic growth, climates. If you have very peaceful climates and economic growth, and there you have developed or you can remain. The company is stronger in architecture field. Natural and environmental, urban, social also is one of the factors we need to concern if you want to do territory selecting. Some architects from they grow and they become better known, expand their territory. They have one office here and they need to open another office in another state, and they can combine together to control the applicant for both areas. A number of the large firms do specialize for projects. They have the program, they have technology, they require many employees to carry out the work over several years. This one is the map to show you the United States, how many states in there, and all of the state regard with the national, so they're looking for the economists from the international also. Basically, the economic condition from international and in the country nationwide, it can make more decision for marketing in architecture. Type of the markets and the client. We have many different kinds from the client, and of course the market type. Architects they usually choose the type from size from the projects if they have the choice: single family residential, multi-family building, hotel, educational building, school, healthcare facility, so on. Other firms they can specialize in historic preservation, for example, architecture museum, or some reusing aging architecture. Many architects they like to refer their market territory to be national and international, also the local type, budgets, and practices. But architects end up, what are they doing or circumstance reason? They locate, they begin the practice and establish the reputation based on the kind from the work, and after that they develop more office or get built. It can be hard to get off the track. For record and reputation, it's the most important with the empty talent, some luck, promotional effort. This is a few examples, so you can see the school, Harvard School in Washington. It's so beautiful side outside, and that is some of the side. They have their own school, but they're very nice looking until now. This is a medical center. If you look at the outside, very nice view for the parking and the landscape outside, because you go to the main building from the medical. Number 5, select architect for projects. Many clients they usually looking for the architect who have the professional experience, creativity, style, the personal quality, history from the line goals, free location, plus more. Architect ideal client is one who can willing to pay whatever it costs to do the job right. Almost client are the cost conscious to some degree, and many costs of architectural service may be primarily practiced for the select architect. Unfortunately, they usually depend on the cost when they select the architecture, or they select the architect to design for their building. That's not really good condition. Client may want to negotiate the fee payment term or architect cash flow. Cash flow is the one to change after the budgets for scam method they have already, and after that they have more chain. Time and the cost allocation must be shown on detail so that the client understands how and why fee have been calculated. Each of step in design construction process must be identified and explained. This one, the client very detailed about that. They need what time they done, how cost they need to pay, and a very detailed one for each day you need to do, and they need to pay something like that. That's a lot of the client to do the same. Governmental client is some of the client take long time for each project and the low fees. Minimum qualification, if you look at some of governmental clients, they usually do the big projects and very simple. For example, school, public school, public medical center, clinic, something like this. They have one project can be remain long time. It depends on the budgets, and they have very low cost. If you look at the high school, for example, if they want to remodel or they want to do something fixed repair for school, they need to take time. It's so long, maybe 1 to 6 months, 6 years, and after that the budgets can be cut anytime, agree or not agree. So that's why a lot of the firm, they like to do the private client more than the governmental clients. Direct deposits, direct approach. That means identify the projects, prospect and lead by reading online, bring new the report, journal, and government publication. For direct approach, for the client can see the firm very fast, maintain and update the firm graphically informative and easily to do on the website, so the firm most interesting recent work along with the firm. This one is a lot of company to do that. They show on of the interesting job they done before, and they upload the image over there for the client can see some of the good face for the company, and they can contact with the company. Communicate with the client is one of the best one for to get the client. A lot of architects, especially the senior one, they have the strong background to talk with the client, and they can get they send for promotion for the client to be that's one. After website, you can do portfolio, you can do resume, you can do on the new project, new member, always for the journal. When you break it out on other thing fails, you can do advertise. Commercial advertising illegal, but many architects find that unprofessional, and they're very expensive pay for that. So that's why the senior architect, they really not like to do for the commercial advertising. But the the marketing department, they really like this one, because this one is the strong methods they can reach with the clients. Indirect approach, for example, you have the people you need to do for be social active. We need to become civically engaged, enjoy with the community, public interest, business, professional organization, or you need to do with the people club for may improve or expand your network. That's the way for indirect one. You can publish finished project in the local, regional, or media print in digital or newspaper, journals, plus for you get the client know you more than many seminar can create for make sure that you recommend the company with another people, some people interesting with the way you do and the project you design, and you can have a lot of award for the projects they got that. You can advertise on the journals, architecture journal, for you can get more client. Other way, you can do the lecture, talk, the project, submit, write about architecture, or you have other to write about everything about the work, or about architect history, time consuming to website. Submit the project with the regular basic to local national design award, something like that. Give the lecture to talk, like I told you, the seminar you can create for that one. So that's why many ways you can do for the marketing. You can do the journal, you can do the award, you can go the seminar to get the point. The interview for a student is the interview with the client, or for the interview for the projects is some kind need a lot of skill. Decide for the client is you can interview on the first day, and after that impress which one is vital, and during interview is performing art. So that's why everything look like professional one. Architects must be charming and persuasive, as well as informative to enthrall and captivate the client. They should have that when they interview. Well composed, slicky printings, portfolio or book, and with the photo or drawing, the firm relevance, project experience. That means you need to show everything about the project in very good portfolio or the book. Architects too must convince to the client that their firm alone possess to the unique quality, and the client seeks that their future working relationship will be ideal. Architects have some of active very good with the client, and they can present for the new client to the company. Beside of this one, joint venture is one of them we need to do for marketing. Joint venture is temporary partnership between two or more firms create for solve problem. For example, your company very famous on one type of the construction, one type from building, but another firm is famous on different one. You can combine together if you get the big job, and you cannot handle the product from another company. So that's why you can join that, and you can work on the big companies, and after that we can join the beneficial. Architects is contractor, construction management, and developer. Architect, beside of design, you need to go from A to Z from the construction. So you can be the designer, you also can be construction manager. AE stand for architecture engineer. Form does mean they have architect, they have honor consultant about engineer, and they have computer people working on marketing. Clients right now, they most value and the best they need, they seek for the people on the value and the best quality in the budget. Remember, in the budget, client always like the low cost with the quality people working for. So that's why more and more now we need to have the people understand that, and we go forward with the client. So basically, if you can go with the client on of the design and the methods to do, it's very easy to go with the next step. That means to go with the construction phase. This is the circle I want to tell you that the time, quality, and the cost is three of basic one in one project. Time, you need very short time or fast time to finish that. Quality, you need the best quality, and the cost, you need the low price. This is the one client would like and looking for. The people can do like that. They can gain many architect, they developer learn for the hard way, and develop projects is not the same. A design project sometimes they need to change many times to fix with the budgets, or they change many times to fix with the client request. So basically, each of the different risk, architect always will be time, the perceived liability, and potential for design projects. That's the one client needed. Design competition. Many monuments, public building and private one, they have built and reserved from design competition. Most of competitions fall into one or two cases: open competition, and the second one, invite competition. Open competition, the sponsor generally accept design submission from anyone quality to enter, may be limited by national or geographic location. Invite competition is the sponsor, after first screening of qualification of architects expressing interest, interview and select one to fill up who they can propose for solicits. Some architects, they have the winning design and they have projects are abandoned and never real or proved too expensive or impractical. When the prize and commission are awarded, the winning architect may still suffer financial loss or excuse from the complete the work for technology, economics, and political reasons. Many competition interact between architect and the client during formative phase, and design is missing. Fee service, this is very important in all of the phase. AIA and the professional in general condemn for the practice of furnishing prospective client with the fee sketch, design, and all the service without fair compensation. To do words considered unprofessional and unfair, but the marketing practice is one of competition. They can advertise so how much they can charge for the projects, and the client can be compete the price by the negotiated bidding, and after that they select the lowest cost from the company they can go with the bidding. So in the architecture we need to face with the same pressure during your career. So that means the pressure coming, and how much fee work should be done on prospective client before you are selected and given a contract. That means you need to have the free work for yourself in the design, because if you get that, you get many pressure during on the time you do for the projects. I usually give you the question for each of the lecture. I also give you few of the interesting projects image, something you see that's it's very nice area, a lot of natural use, or some kind like the shape from the building is so interesting. I just want to share with you something about architecture and environmental design. This is a very nice area in Washington, and I hope that you can have similar with my view, with my thinking. That means some of the place I share with you is interesting projects, and I hope that is still interesting with you when you look at this. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and this is chapter 10. In the textbook you can see in the textbook how architecture get work chapters, and this is chapter 10. We have few more chapters, and we will go with quiz number 3. After that, I will select some students qualify for skip final or to do very short final. Hope that you on the list, and when you see my email, congratulations for you your status in this class, and you will know that you are qualified for which position in my class. Thank you so much for watching this video, and see you next time.